We used to put urea on, put about 220 units of N on a year, I think. The consultant would just say, follow the cows every round for most of the year. And I wasn't happy doing that. And then I think it was mainly through Phyllis Titchener I first heard to lift the carbon levels, calcium levels, and feed to microbes and that. And that sounded good to me, so I had got that. We put a lime slurry on in the autumn of 2011, and then I went all liquid ferts, and that spring was an absolute disaster. It was probably the most miserable spring I've seen. Like I'm only 160 metres above sea level, and we got 2 big dumps of snow in August that year. There was no grass growth. So I think, I did have to buy in quite a bit of feed, but we both thought eventually put a bit of urea on to get the grass growing. And we used a couple of different companies, and it wasn't too bad. Like, I don't know why, but the front half of the paddocks were fine, but the back half of the paddocks were really, really poor. And I met this fella at the field days one time, and he said he could fix everything for us without any troubles. We had a high magnesium in the soils, which made them tight, which we knew about, which we're trying to get rid of. But he said, if you put lots of elemental sulphur on, that'll get rid of your magnesium. And in a 12-month period, we put 3 dressings of 100 kgs of elemental sulphur, and I reckon that just about killed all the microbes in the soil. It was just real sticky. No air could get through it and that. And I said to him that I wasn't happy with the response. And he said, maybe we should put the sulphur on at 150 this time. And I just said, go away.
I have a question, Dave. What happened with the animal health when you put all that elemental sulphur on?
Actually, we had about 3 mysterious deaths. The vets, it was like they were poisoned. They just sort of died in a 24-hour period. The vets didn't know what it was. But since then, I think we've picked things up. Generally, just RPR and lime, the solid ferts, and doing a bit different liquids. I think in the last season, especially the fish hydrolysate seems to have had a good response. I still think our dirt at this time of year, when the grass isn't long, it's just real sticky, and I'd say it's pretty anaerobic down there, so we're a little bit slow to get going in the spring, but we seem to grow quite well after that. The cows, I do feed in the shed, so they get minerals in the shed during the milking season, but this winter they look really, really good, and they seem to be putting on weight quite well, so that's good. We've lowered the stocking rate a bit. I'd still like, we usually went to 220, and this year it's 180, and I think 170 is probably a good cow to the acre number. Yeah, I've been I've done about 5 paddocks of different species, and they come away really good. I don't know if I've quite got grazing them right. Just seeing how they're going. I had another paddock that had been quite pugged up, and I seen a guy, Peter Barrett from Symbiosis, and I wanted some seed off him, and he said, I'll do an infiltration test, and so I know what kind of seed you need. So I did the first one, and I sort of just sat down by the motorbike, and then I told him, it was 37 minutes. And he said, that's not good, Dave. So I didn't do a second one. I got sick of waiting after that. So,
any other observations that really stand out, changes you've seen?
Well, we have reduced synthetic ferts to almost zero. I think the last 2 springs, like I said, the farms looked a bit yellow, and so I put urea, dissolved it. I dissolved it and put it on with a few mates or something, and just to get the farm going. And just doing that once seems to have worked quite well. For me, the most important thing still is the soil test and the soil food web 1 with the microbes. That's basically what I concentrate on first to get the soil right. It was getting softer before we put the sulphur on.
Was that, yeah?
And now I
That was
think
a trial
just
process,
this year, the last year, it's getting that way again. Lots of vermicast when you're walking through.
You're seeing vermicast on the surface, you mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. There's lots of that. Sure, I've missed
Thanks, Dave. That's great.
Yeah.